In 1987, Red Bull launched in Austria. Every food and drink expert looked at this product, and they said the same thing. It will fail. The taste was too strong. The can was too small. The price was 3 times higher than a normal drink. And the name Red Bull. Not exactly elegant, so they ran taste tests, real consumer research, hundreds of people. The results came back clear. People did not like it. Red Bull launched anyway. Today, Red Bull sells over 12 billion cans every single year, and the company is worth more than $10 billion. The experts were not wrong about the product. They were wrong about what they were measuring. By the end of this video, you will understand the single concept that made Red Bull a billion-dollar brand. Not the energy formula, not the extreme sports marketing, not the cans, the concept underneath all of it. And if you work in marketing, product development, or brand strategy, this is one of the most important case studies you will ever study. Because Red Bull did not win by making a better product. They won by owning something no competitor could take from them. Let me show you exactly how they did it. It is 1982. Dietrich Mateschitz is a marketing director for a German toothpaste company called Blendax. He is 38 years old, and he is exhausted. He has just landed in Bangkok, Thailand, after a long international flight. He walks into a hotel lobby. Someone hands him a small bottle. It is a local Thai drink called Krating Dang. In English, this means red gar, a large and powerful bull found across Southeast Asia. He drinks it. His jet lag disappears within minutes. Now, a normal person finishes the drink and checks into their room. Dietrich Mateschitz does not do that. He looks at the bottle. He thinks about who makes this. He thinks about the 200 million cans already being sold every year across Asia with almost no marketing. And he asks one question: why does no one know about this in Europe? He spends the next 2 years answering that question. He contacts Chaleo Uvidya, the Thai businessman who created Krating Dang. They agree to a partnership. Each man invests $500,000. They form a new company, Red Bull GmbH, registered in Austria, 1984. Now they need to sell it. And this is where the story gets interesting. Mateschitz goes to investors. He shows them the drink. He shows them the numbers from Asia. They say no. He goes to food and beverage distributors. He shows them the product. They taste it. They say no. One distributor tells him, this tastes like medicine mixed with sugar. He runs formal taste tests, the standard market research any smart marketer does. He brings in hundreds of consumers. They try the drink. The results are clear. Most people do not enjoy the taste. The can feels too small. The price, almost 3 times a regular Coke, feels absurd. The market research is saying, do not launch this product. Every data point says the same thing. And here's the question I want you to sit with right now. What would you do if your research said no? If your investors said no? If the distributors said no? Would you still launch? Mateschitz said yes. But more importantly, he understood something about those taste tests that no one else saw. He understood that people were giving him their reaction to a drink, not their reaction to a concept. When Red Bull launched in Austria in 1987, Mateschitz made 3 decisions that looked completely wrong. Decision 1, he did not go to supermarkets. Every major drink brand in the world launches through supermarkets. You pay for shelf space. You build distribution. You put the product in front of millions of people. Mateschitz said no. Instead, he put Red Bull in small nightclubs, university bars, late-night study spots. He was not selling to everyone. He was selling to one very specific person, a young person, tired, needing to perform, needing to stay sharp. Decision 2, he kept the price high on purpose. When a product is expensive, it sends a signal. This signal says, this is not for everyone. This is for people who are serious. Red Bull was not a casual drink. It was a performance tool. The price was part of that message. Decision 3. He sponsored extreme sports. Not football, not tennis, not the events that every other brand wanted. Cliff diving, snowboarding, Formula 1 racing, skydiving. Events that felt dangerous, fast, pushed to the absolute limit of what a human body can do. Now ask yourself, why these 3 decisions? What connects nightclubs, high prices, and extreme sports? They all point to the same person. A person who refuses to stop. A person who performs at the edge of their limits. A person who needs to push further when everyone else has already gone home. Within 3 years, Red Bull is the most popular drink on Austrian university campuses. Word spreads, not through advertising, through people telling each other. Have you tried this? This is the thing keeping me awake in my final exams. This is what the DJs drink before a 4-hour set. By 1997, Red Bull enters the United States. By 2000, they sponsor their first Formula One team. By 2012, Dietrich Mateschitz funds something that no consumer brand has ever done before. He sends a man named Felix Baumgartner to the edge of space, 127,000 feet above the Earth. Baumgartner jumps and breaks the sound barrier with his body. 8 million people watch the live stream. Every frame, every second, branded with 2 Red Bulls on a yellow circle. Red Bull is no longer a drink company. Red Bull is a media empire that also sells a drink. And this is when you start to understand the real concept. So what is the real concept behind Red Bull? Most people will tell you, Red Bull is an energy drink brand. They will say, Red Bull gives you wings. They will talk about caffeine, taurine, B vitamins. That is wrong. Or rather, that is the surface. Underneath the surface is something much more powerful. Red Bull did not sell energy. Red Bull sold an identity. This is called identity positioning. It means your brand does not just solve a problem for someone. Your brand tells the world who that person is. When someone holds a Red Bull can, they are not just saying, I need caffeine. They are saying, I am someone who does not stop. I am someone who performs. I push my limits. I am serious. The drink is almost secondary. The identity is everything. And this concept has 3 specific components. Let me walk you through each one. Component 1. Precise audience over mass appeal. Most brands try to reach everyone. Red Bull chose one very specific person. The young performer, the student pulling an all-nighter before exams, the young professional who works past midnight, the athlete who trains before the sun rises. This means Red Bull was never trying to win a taste test, because the people in that taste test were not the target audience. When you try to appeal to everyone, you connect deeply with no one. When you choose one specific person, you become their brand. You become the thing they reach for without thinking. This means if your product is for everyone, your product concept needs sharper definition. Ask yourself, who is the one person this product is truly for? Component 2, category creation. In 1987, there was no energy drink category in Europe. Red Bull did not enter an existing market. They created a new one. This is one of the most powerful moves in product strategy. It is called category creation. It means you define a new space and then you own it. Red Bull wrote the rules for what an energy drink should look, taste, cost, and feel like. When competitors arrived, Rockstar, Monster, Burn, they were playing by Red Bull's rules. And here is what is interesting. Red Bull still has a 24% share of the global energy drink market today, even though there are now hundreds of competitors. Why? Because they were first. Because they wrote the category definition. Because every competitor is compared to them, not the other way around. This means the most powerful position in business is not better than the competition. It is the original, the one that everyone else is measured against. Component 3, owned culture, not rented attention. Most brands rent attention. They pay for advertisements. They buy media space. The moment they stop paying, the attention disappears. Red Bull owns culture. They own Formula One teams. They own a football club, RB Leipzig, now competing in the UEFA Champions League. They own Red Bull Media House, which produces films, music, documentaries, and events. Red Bull's marketing budget is approximately 25 to 30% of their total revenue every year. But here is the key difference. When Red Bull spends money on sponsoring a cliff diving event, they are not just buying attention for 1 week. They are building an asset. They are building a world. And that world reinforces the same concept every single time. Peak human performance, pushing the limit, never stopping. Every product detail, every event, every sponsorship, every content piece, all of it says the same thing. One single idea. Consistent, relentless, for over 35 years. That is product concept, not what the product is, but what the product means to the person who uses it. Remember what those experts said in 1987. Too strong, too small, too expensive. They ran the taste tests. They counted the negative reactions. They used every standard tool in market research. And they reached the wrong conclusion because they were measuring the wrong thing. They measured whether people liked to drink. Mateschitz was building something that people would become. That is the lesson. A product gives someone something to use. A concept gives someone something to be. When your product taps into who someone wants to be, price becomes secondary. Taste becomes secondary. Even quality becomes secondary because the person is not buying a product. They are buying a version of themselves. That is why Red Bull is worth $10 billion. Not because the drink tastes better, because the concept means more. If you want to apply this kind of thinking to your own product or brand, I have built a product concept analysis template. You can use it for your own product in about 30 minutes. It is completely free. Download it at ryansconsulting.com. The link is in the description below. In the next video, I'm going to break down another brand that built a billion-dollar concept from almost nothing. And the lesson from that case study will surprise you. Subscribe so you do not miss it. And if this video gave you a new way to think about your product, leave a comment below. I read every one. I will see you in the next one.